A VFP that's had a big influence on my life would be my great grandmother, Sister Vertus Smith Hansen. Now, the great thing about her is that she actually helped raise me the same way she raised my father and my grandfather and his two brothers and my Aunt Bev. So there's a lot of family history and a lot of influence that she has placed on my life that definitely has helped shape the person I've become today. One of the things that she did for me the most is I actually had to learn to walk and deal with the same steps and walk in the same shoes as my father did before me. Now, what I mean by walking in my father's footsteps is that there were many things that he did that she taught him and that she brought him up with going through his younger life that she also instilled into me. One of the biggest things that she did was learning patience. And she did that through gardening. She would always take me in the backyard and have me plant okra or flowers or even learn to plant cotton. As crazy as that sounds. To learn the value of patience is one thing that has served me well in my years now because I've been able to use that patience to grow as a man in this life. And also, I actually had to wear the same little bitty shoes my dad wore when he was about my age and at the same time, which was kind of cool that she still had those shoes and those shoes were still able to fit me. Another thing that I did when I was living with her is that she gave me a full and healthy life. Like, as a young child, you don't expect a child growing up on the south side of Houston, which is known as a poor community, especially being on the south side of NRG and the Astrodome, for those kids to be happy, to have a full and plentiful lifestyle. But I actually had a very happy life when I lived her. She gave me the nickname Peanut, basically because I had a funny peanut-shaped head, and I loved peanut butter and jelly. And that's one of the main things she would always give me. She always made sure that I had everything I needed and a few of my happy wants. So there was times where I wanted to go fishing, and she used that as a way to teach me patience and want to teach me to be responsible to keep up with the fishing pole that she gave me and the bait that she gave me, and to stay close enough to her to where if she called out to me, I could respond and go back to her very quickly. Also, growing up very poor, I had to deal with the same punishments my dad and my grandfather got. So in her house, you did something wrong, you gotta switch it. And for from you don't know, it's basically where you go outside to willow tree or old hickory tree and you pull off a razor thin branch. And unfortunately, if it wasn't up to her standing, she went and got another one, tied them together, and switched you with that. Luckily for me, there was very few times that happened to me, but the one time it did, I did learn my lesson very quickly not to get another one. Also, growing up on the south side of Houston, it was in a very poor neighborhood. You had very limited toys because there wasn't money to buy you any and every toy you wanted. So we made up and created all kind of games that I can't even remember to this day. Like, there's a game where we would pretend we were in a submarine, but we were sitting in the ditch trying to stay out of trouble. Or we were pretending we were explorers climbing over rocks and climbing through trees and going up and down in the ditches. Just to do something to have that same happy lifestyle as kids and actually growing and building our mental intellect with us having to create and start these games on our own and just continue to make them grow and flourish. Also, the great thing about my great-grandmother, Miss Vertus May Henson, is that she raised me in a godly home. She actually goes to a church down there on the south side of town right off of OST, right before you hit Cullen Boulevard and Cullen Middle School. A very strong, prominent Southern Baptist church that's been there for, I don't know, longer than I can remember. And this church gave her the same instillment, the same biblical worldview that I still live by and grow a day, and I try to throw my kids into where I learn right and wrong from the Bible. And so that's what she taught me. And to this day, she still reminds me of those same lessons I learned back then. The one thing that she influenced on my life the most is patience, kindness, honesty, and love. To where you always want to be patient with your enemies and your crew and your kids. Kind to somebody who's wronged you. You want to love everybody in your family and make sure you show kindness to the world. And every day I thank for this woman is still in my life. And I hope when God calls her home, I still will feel her presence every day. I'm really thankful she's been there for me and was able to give me the same instillment that she gave my father and my grandfather. God bless you guys.